Hey guys, welcome back. Mike Wood here with Wild Utah Edibles. We are exploring a little bit of wonderland out in an urban area. So we're on the foothills of Ogden Canyon at Barker Park, and this is a wonderful location. There's a lot of stuff to see, so let's check it out. Quite a few things coming into here, but I saw these green leaves back in here and I thought, hey, that's where I'm going to start. Let's get back there and see what those are. And it didn't take long for me to get close to this. Anybody up in Washington or Oregon will know what we're looking at here, except up there the thorns are going to be an inch long and reaching out to kill you. But here's some raspberry. It's a red raspberry or black raspberry, but we've definitely got a raspberry there growing in amongst all of these trees, so that's kind of fun to see that. And I can just imagine what we would have growing all over this area with the water coming through it here come summer. This is going to be a fun location. And then up the hill, Ford spotted something that I mentioned was also an edible. Maybe not for you guys who are vegetarians or vegans, but we've got a small little herd of deer through the brush on the top of the hill there. Looking at me, wondering what I'm doing down here. So this was kind of fun. I did notice down here that we have a lot of young dandelions. Oh, check that out. What's going on there, Ford?
The deer are eating.
Yeah, the deer are eating it. The deer recognize the value of the plant. So there's a dandelion. Here's another dandelion growing right there. And I saw quite a few down the trail there.
It's interesting that they don't just eat.
Take the whole thing right down to the root.
To let it. There's another one.
Yeah. And again, they've munched a little bit here and there, but left the majority of the plant to continue growing.
They're smart.
Looks like more raspberry down here. Hey, do any of you come down here and harvest raspberries? Looks like there's quite a extensive patch of raspberry here. Oh my gosh, now I want to go fishing. I look at that and I'm thinking that's a prime spot to toss a worm. That's the first thing that comes to my mind usually when I'm near a decent sized creek. This is beautiful. I would have loved to have this growing up. I used to go out in the pastures and climb all over trees like this. My aunt and uncle's place up in Iona, Idaho, making forts and playing. Yeah, this is a prime location for kids, man.
This
because I didn't want to hold it. So here's an early spring plant coming up. Water leaf, ballhead water leaf here, growing up all over through here. So the ballhead water leaf, it's the tender young shoots that you want to eat from those. So
you just put those
this
in
time of
salad,
year, pot herb. So you're generally going to cook it a little bit. So that young stuff right there. So look at how many of those are underneath the leaves here, right? So you can just take that plant right there, gather a bunch of those, and toss them in a pan with a little bit of butter, salt, and garlic. Fry it up. Enjoy a pot herb. Quite a bit of it growing here, and when this grows, it usually is just very prolific. It's all over. So as you're seeing here, we've got that just coming up all over the place, and it'll usually be very, very prolific. And there's something totally different.
Yep.
And that one kind of looks like a dandelion to me, but it's so young. It's kind of hard to say. But if we clear some of that out and see how we've got multiple coming out of one. I really think that
Maybe a young
is a
dandy.
dandelion. Yeah. You look at the back of it. If you don't see any spikes, if you see the little tiny pokey spikes on the back of it, it's prickly leaf lettuce. The broadleaf structure of it looks like dandelion, and dandelion will often have the little serrations toward the back of the leaf here. And then when it's struggling, when it grows older and it gets a big leaf, it'll have more of a toothed leaf, dente leon, lion's teeth, if it's struggling.
Okay.
So this is one that'll be an obvious answer for you, but with a name like ivy-leaved speedwell, what do you think it's used for?
Just speed up your what do you call it? Your
Healing, immune system,
your healing, but
right? Speed to being well, right? Speed to wellness. So yeah, this is with a name like that, it's something that you'd want to look into the medicinal values of it. So I was talking to Ford earlier. I was talking to Ford here, explaining if you identify a plant. See, I'm really big on identifying and learning the plants. They stick better in my head if I learn how to use them, and especially if they're edible. But what I would say is if I've given you a hint or a plant, that you have the name of it, now take it a step further and take that plant and go put it into Google and put the word edible after it. And that'll tell you whether it's edible or not. And you'll have all kinds of resources, and you can look through all those resources, do extensive research to decide if it's something you want to add to your regimen for eating. Or knowledge base for later, right? And then the other thing that you think about is with a name like Speedwell.
What's the medicinal?
And so same thing, go to Google and do a search with the name of the plant and then the word medicinal after it. Uses, different things like that will help you research a little bit more to find out about the plant.
Of like a dandelion, right?
Yeah. So I said it earlier, but do you know where the name dandelion comes from? Those words,
No.
or that word. It's from French.
Look how big this.
And the dandy
new?
part
Is that
is
like
no,
old?
that's old. That's from last
Did it stay?
winter or overwinter. It's been
Wow.
under the leaves and the
And so it protected it, huh?
yep, and the snow insulated it, and yeah, that's from last year. So dandy lion, dente leon, dente in Latin languages, and this comes from the French, I believe, is tooth, and leon or lion is lion, right? So this is the name of this plant is dente leon, or tooth of the lion, or lion's tooth, and it comes from that shape,
Yeah.
which is only there when the plant is struggling. Because if the plant is really, really healthy, then you're not going to have this serrated edges. You're going to have a nice broad leaf. It'll still have a little bit of that, the teeth on the edges.
Will that work out
But-
as it continues to
Oh, yeah.
grow and develop?
I've seen
and
these
get
up in
better,
the
get
mountains
stronger?
where the leaf is nice and broad, just a little bit of serrations on the edges, and especially toward the back. And it's like 12 to 18 inches long.
Oh, wow.
Great big long leaves, so they'll get big sometimes. You don't get very far with me on these. When I'm doing tours, I don't go very far because there's so much to see in such a small area. And here we have the native plant of the Titleist variety.
Yes, I've seen those.
And that's just the shell left over.
Yes, you've seen those where they,
It-
like when you
it
hit them
shed-
really hard, it sounds like a 22.
It shed its shell and moved on in life. Here's quite a
That's
few
the end stage
dandelions.
of the Titleist.
It's the end stage of the Titleist, the end of its life. Dandelion over there. So we got quite a few dandelions there. I looked up into the field here and I thought, is that a little duckling that I see right there? And I was looking at this dead leaf. from my point of view, it looked like a duckling. It's kind of fun. Okay, so talk about not getting very far. Squirrel! Just kidding.
And so what can you do
So-
with the black hawthorn?
Black hawthorn we just found right here. Black hawthorn is an incredibly valuable medicinal plant. And it's one that I believe is for women's health. And that's all I remember. So you're gonna have to look it up and find out the details of it. But we got quite a bit of black hawthorn here. And in fact, here's a whole bunch of young ones. And that's what caught my eye first, was all these young ones growing.
All of this back here.
And then, yeah, we come in here and it's like, holy cow, they are just all over the place. There's some raspberry mixed in it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Those raspberries with those nice thorns, they still don't compare to what I saw when I went through Washington and Oregon, man. I went into a patch in the forest in Washington and it really, it was scary. So Ford was just pointing out the thorn here that you'll usually see on the black hawthorn, sometimes called thorn apple. And I was looking for that thorn, and you don't see a whole lot of them in these branches, but then
they
we
are
were
there.
able to find some.
Now that I'm recognizing,
Yeah,
it,
now that
I'm
you've
starting
seen
to-
it.
I'm starting to see more.
It's
I
just like when
definitely
you buy a
wouldn't
red
wanna, like,
truck.
truck off through there. You know?
Yeah, there's some pretty serious thorns on those. Boy, there's a lot of raspberry up here.
There is.
So if you come up here and decide to do a little harvesting, foraging, reach into some of the bushes and pull out the trash that other people have decided to leave behind. Look at all of those raspberries. That's incredible. Lots and lots of raspberries in here. That's pretty cool. So here's one that I was talking about earlier on the drive with Ford. And this is common burdock in seed form. So those are the seed heads of the burdock. The stalk down there, some of the old leaves, and we don't have any new plants growing in this area yet.
It's kind of funny. People have taken the hoses probably and watering these
Oh
areas.
yeah. Lots of water down through here in the right time of year, I'm sure. So we're heading back out of the area here, and I wanted to show what caught my eye coming in. The water leaf. I swear I saw that right here at the, oh, there it is. Right at the entrance. So water leaf right there. Yeah, right up here. Oh, there it is. That's what I saw. All of that down in there. Whole bunch of the ballhead water leaf. Ballhead because the flower top is a ball shape. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. Share it with somebody you think will enjoy it.